Well, hello there, my bowfishing brethren. Another bowfishing trip on May 16th, 2021 in Saginaw Bay, Michigan. On this particular evening, again, had a good night. Sometimes lately it's been really strange on Saginaw Bay. I have not seen a night where all things have come together with the weather conditions and the fish. And normally by this time of year, I have seen a few nights like that in previous years, but this year it's just been, again, something's been just slightly off each and every time out. That hasn't been one of those just slam dunk nights where you're just, shooting fish after fish after fish, just non-stop. But nonetheless, we still put in a decent amount of fish in the boat this year. A lot of catfish, more so than usual, and the water level too is down about 14 to 16 inches comparison to last year. A little bit about the deck that I'm standing on here. It is two 4x8 sheets of a half-inch MDO board, and that sits on top of a aluminum frame, which was made primarily out of trifold quad ramps, that is. Good material, got some great pricing on it, and is very stiff. Again, I love having a gaff on board. I have a gaff on each side of the boat, not only for pulling in fish, but to clear seaweed off the trolling motor. I use it when I'm docking to grab a dock post, help secure the boat. I even use it when I'm launching. I hook one of the front ropes to the trailer itself, so I'm backing in the boat, and the boat comes off the trailer, and it's held by that rope to one of the trailer components, and then I reach over with the gaff to pick the rope off of that piece of gear, and it just again works out. It's just a lot of uses. It does take a little practice to get to use them well, but again, you get one that's about 4 foot or longer. It seems to me, somebody brought this subject up a while ago, is about the most fighting fish, and I would say the dogfish, pound per pound, they always fight. They just fight, and they're really not all that big. 6 to 7 pounders being definitely above average. A 3 pounder, 2 or 3 pounder is probably about average. This was another great night for goldfish. I think on this particular night I shot 9 or 10. Goldfish this year have they've been going up every year over the last 5 years, seeing more and more of them. Now, if you watch carefully here, I got snagged, so I used the line twirler real quickly. That is set up just below my crank handle. I wound it around there a couple of times. It had shot through on this little goldfish and got stuck in some Phragmite grass. I was able to clear that very quickly and then get the line off the puller, again, in a matter of seconds. You know, the AMS Anchor QT is still the best tip for me in most shooting circumstances in water like this. Maybe perhaps if you're shooting deeper water or water where you would never hit the bottom, there's a couple other choices out there. If you're just shooting at big fish alone, maybe shooting a fixed tip would be the way to go. But overall, for me, this is a great tip. I've seen it where it holds on to the fish with just one prong in it. It's got the best balance of prong length to performance. Again, the only downside is they are very expensive for what they are. You know, the catfish were just starting to come in when I shot this video footage, and about a week later they're into their spawn, and they actually burrow into the ground or burrow under a tree. I've seen them in a few different places, and man, there's been a ton of catfish this year. I've seen them all over the place. Good sized ones too. Yeah, I bought a pair of boots about 3 years ago called Extra Tough, XTRATUF, and they're like a $60 or $70 pair of rubber boots that are just over the ankle, and they seem to be popular in the fishing market. Quite honestly, it's been a great boot, good for mild weather to even hot weather. You know, as I was working the shoreline on my way back to the docks, I ran across these gentlemen, which were stranded. They were out bowfishing that night, and their outboard broke down. And they were about probably a quarter mile away or so from where they had docked. And obviously, it's in the process of good karma that I towed these gentlemen back in. I was just able to tow them back in by using my trolling motor. That's that Minn Kota 112-pound thrust Altera, and along the way I did shoot a couple of fish. Figured, hey, why not? You know, but nonetheless, I was glad to help out somebody that evening, and went on to still find a few more fish after that. pretty much in all my reels now, I'm running a 250-pound line, and it is a 8-strand line. Keep in mind that your reels aren't necessarily designed for 250 pounds right to the gears, but make sure you use a line puller, and I find it is better for pulling out of snags and hard spots, and also is more abrasion resistant. The other thing that's a must pretty much on any bow fishing boat is a good push pull, or at least a decent one. You're getting into shallow waters, you're going to run into things that you don't expect, and having a push pull is going to make a world of difference than trying to get out of them or through them. You know, one of my favorite shots are what I call these campers. That means they're just sitting right there. They're not moving any place. They're sitting still, holding pretty, and maybe they're sleeping. I don't know, but I call them campers, and those are my favorite ones to shoot. You know, sure, it's fun shooting fish on the fly and a few other things, but man, it's nice to lace a big one. It's just sitting there dead still. Some people would say, well, why do you want to spend $300 on a bow fishing reel? And I would say that the reason being is that it offers you line control. The Megamouth offers you line control in a way in which I don't think any other reel does as well. And besides making it more enjoyable, it makes things a little bit quicker too. my body is one of those high mileage containers, and on these trips here, I'm wearing knee braces, actually compression knee bands as well. I'm typically wearing a back brace. I'm wearing usually compression elbow sleeves as well, and sometimes even like a compression band around a particular arm to help with like tennis elbow. And stand on a fatigue mat. Anything that you can do to make sure that you're keeping your body up and running and comfortable as long as possible. I'd say, hey, why not? Try it. And there's a lot of great orthopedic style gear out there. Find what's best for you that doesn't get in the way, and use it. That's what it's made for. I have a small bowfishing bow collection, about 13 bows in all, and I have basically all the different most of all the manufacturers, everything from like I've had Alpines, Dartons, all the PSEs, it goes on, Cajun, obviously the other lever bows, but a G-Rex is my favorite. It just points better, it shoots better. It feels a little different, and it might take you a while to get used to that, but with 2 or 3 trips, you'll find that for most, I believe that you'll put more fish in the boat. It's rarely I go out on a trip that I'm not using my arrow out. At one point or another, usually I get in too big of a hurry and I'll snap a line. And in doing so, this arrow out is a great tool to have. You can reach out further and retrieve more arrows quickly than trying to grab them off the side of the boat and in deeper water. Well, that about concludes this one here. This fish here fights, and just at the very end he falls off. But nonetheless, I hope all of you have a damn good day, or at least try like hell. And I like to remind people, there is only one today. It is up to you to make it awesome. Please do something that makes this day a little bit better than when you woke up. There won't be any regrets in that. Take care, my friends.